Hello dear students, welcome to online biology bridge course class, and today I am going to discuss about the study of bryophytes. In the previous video discussed about the plant kingdom, and plant kingdom includes the different groups of plants like thallophytes, then pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. And in the thallophytes, the two specific group of plants are included. They are algae and bryophytes. So let us study about the brief introductory part with respect to bryophytes. So moving to the general characters of bryophytes. What are the common features or what are the common characters, specific characters shown by all the bryophytes? Let me clear, this is the part of first PU syllabus. In the study of plant kingdom, in detail you are going to study about bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperms and angiosperms. But here I am explaining or discussing very superficial and highlighted things about the bryophytes, not in detail. Bryophytes are pioneer of the land plants because they are the first plants to grow and colonize the barren rock and lands. A very interesting and important point. So before bryophytes, algae are the group of the plants evolved in the plant kingdom. So before the bryophytes, which group is present on the earth? It is algae, but all the algal members are aquatic in habitat. That means they are growing in water body. For the first time, the plant which started growing, plant group started growing on the land are nothing but bryophytes, especially on the barren rocks. The completely empty, lifeless rock surfaces are occupied by the bryophytes. Therefore, bryophytes are called pioneer of the land plants. They started growing on the land for the first time, and that credit goes to bryophytes. And bryophytes occur in damp and shaded areas, always with moisture content, always with availability of the water, with less bright sunlight. They need the shade areas or shaded areas. These kind of habitats are usually occupied by the bryophytes. Then important point, the plant body is thallus-like. What it means? Plant body is thallus-like. Let me clear about this particular term. Thallus-like, because of that reason only, the bryophytes are included in the category of thallophytes. What is thallus? Generally, when we see the plant body, we will observe or we can see the three important parts such as root, stem and leaf. But here, thallus means it is a green structure without true root, stem and leaves. All these structures are completely absent. If you observe this image and this image, even the first image which I used in the introductory part, this is a bryophyte plant body, but it don't have any true root, without a true stem and without a true leaves. Any structure without true root, stem and leaves is called thallus. And one more very important point that you need to remember for bryophytes. Of course, bryophytes started growing on the land for the first time. Bryophytes, even though they grow on land, but they need water for sexual reproduction. Compulsorily, water is required for the bryophytes to complete sexual reproduction. That means bryophytes, they need the land, as well as bryophytes, they need the water to execute sexual reproduction. Two different habitats or the structures are required for the survivalence of bryophytes. Hence, bryophytes are called amphibians of plant kingdom. The common name used for bryophytes is amphibians of plant kingdom. Actually, amphibians are animals, and the very common and regular example for the amphibian is frog and toad. So, what is the character of frog and toad? They are able to survive on the land as well as they are able to survive in the water, or they live in the water. Here, bryophytes successfully they grow on the land, but when it comes to the matter of sexual reproduction, without water, the bryophytes cannot complete the sexual reproduction. Due to the requirement of both land and water, the bryophytes are called amphibians of the plant kingdom. Then question arises, when roots are absent, then how these bryophytes grow attached to the soil surface? How they hold the soil for the growing purpose? Observe this term rhizoids. The roots are absent. Instead of root, the hair-like structures are present in the bryophytes. The function is similar to that of the roots. Whatever the functions are carried out by the roots, the same functions are carried out by the rhizoids, and rhizoids are present in the bryophytes instead of roots. And here the rhizoids may be unicellular or multicellular. It may be made up of only one cell, outgrowth from one cell, or it may consist of many cells. Both the possibilities are there. With the help of rhizoids, the bryophytes, they hold the soil, they hold the substratum, even water and minerals are also absorbed with the help of rhizoids. Then another interesting and important character, in bryophytes, vascular tissues are absent. I think this term I explained in previous videos. Vascular tissue. Xylem and phloem of the plants are called vascular tissues. So, what is the meaning of this one? Vascular tissues are absent. That means xylem and phloem both are absent. Because of that reason, the bryophytes are called non-vascular plants. What is the meaning of non-vascular plants? Non-vascular means they are without xylem and phloem. The xylem and phloem are completely absent. True root, stem and leaves are absent. They grow on the land. They are the pioneers of the land plants, especially colonizing the barren rocks. And these bryophytes are completely dependent on water to complete or to execute the sexual reproduction. Hence, bryophytes are called amphibians of the plant kingdom. So, xylem and phloem, as they do not contain, they are also called non-vascular plants. Thallus, pioneer of the land plants, amphibians of the plant kingdom, non-vascular plants. All these are the important terms that you need to remember for the study of bryophytes. So now I'm going to explain about one interesting bryophyte. It is sphagnum. The most economically useful bryophyte is sphagnum. See, even though bryophytes are lower plants, they do not produce the flower, they do not produce the seed, they do not contain xylem and phloem. Irrespective of all these primitive characters, sphagnum is most economically beneficial bryophyte. In what way it is useful? Let us elaborate the information about the sphagnum. This is the sphagnum plant, and the decayed and dried sphagnum moss is called the peat or peat moss. The powder which is produced from dried sphagnum or decayed sphagnum, it is called simply peat moss or peat. Very common term used for the powder of dried sphagnum is peat moss. And this is used as soil conditioner, which increases the soil's capacity to hold the water and nutrients. That means it is useful in gardenings. For the increasing purpose of for the increasing for water and mineral nutrition absorption and increasing capacity of the soil with reference to absorption of water and nutrients, the peat moss or the powder of sphagnum, dried sphagnum, is used, and it is very useful in the gardening purpose. Apart from that, the dried sphagnum is used as a packaging material because it absorbs the moisture content. So most economically useful bryophyte is sphagnum. Apart from this one, these are some other economic importance of the bryophytes. They prevent soil erosion. What is this soil erosion? It is the removal of upper fertile soil. When top soil is removed, it may be due to fastly blowing wind, and maximum it is due to water current. Whenever the fertile top soil is removed or it is carried away, it is called soil erosion. How bryophytes prevent the soil erosion? Simple example I can take. When bryophytes start growing in any land area, they grow just like a mat covering the floor. So the types of mat which we use in our houses to cover the floor, like that, entire area will be tightly and very thickly covered by bryophytes. As they grow very compact, they prevent the soil erosion. Then they help in the formation of soil. This one is interesting. Along with the lichens. What are these lichens? Lichens are the composite plants having algae and fungi. In previous bridge course video, in one video I explained only about the lichens. Lichens are the composite plant. Singly it is not made up represented. It is made up of algae and fungi. So along with the lichens, the mosses, they are involved in the formation of soil. So lichens in Kannada, they are called kalluhu. They grow on the barren rock, and mosses are also growing on the rocks, and they are involved in the formation of soil by weathering of the rock. Then the bryophytes are used as a fuel in Ireland, Scotland, and northern Europe. In these countries, the bryophytes are used as the source of fuel for different activities. Dried mosses and bryophytes have great ability to hold the water. Due to this ability, The bryophytes are used as packing material for the shipment of cut flowers, vegetables, etc. That's what I told. Especially sphagnum is used as packing material. When sphagnum is completely dried, it has the ability to absorb the water content or moisture content, so that long term transportation of the flowers and vegetables without any damage or decaying can be carried out with the help of the dried bryophytes, and hence bryophytes are used as packing materials. Then some bryophytes, like mosses, they are the groups of bryophytes, are used as food by chicks and small birds along with Alaskan reindeer. Its horn is very much attractive structure and branched one in Alaskan reindeer, and by chicks and small birds. The bryophytes are used as food. The bryophyte is used as packing material. Peat moss is used for the purpose of gardening. They prevent the soil erosion. Along with the lichens, they help in the formation of soil. It is used as fuel in countries like Ireland, Scotland, and Northern Europe. And as the dried mosses have the ability to absorb the water content, they are used as packing material for the shipment of flowers and vegetables. Apart from that, the bryophytes are also consumed as food by the animals like chicks, birds, and Alaskan reindeer. So, this is a very brief information about bryophytes. Hope the explained part is clear for you. Thank you.